So hi guys, I wanted to go over this on a video actually because I started reading it. Well, I didn't actually get to the first part of the changes or anything because I wanted to sort of react to them because there's a lot of things I didn't like that were in the beta that I'm like, this is just gonna ruin experiences. And they're very simple, obvious, basic things. God, it's windy out. And there's other things that don't really matter that I think people were making some things about. So I want to know if they're even in this list or not. So you got the first part of the acknowledgments and everything up there. We've added diamond icons above the heads of enemies. This should make it easier for players to clearly identify opponents in a game. Thank Jesus Christ. Additionally, we've continued to tweak lighting and contrast for improved enemy visibility. Okay. So, I don't know if any enemy visibility is under a different title down below or not, but I shit you not, one of my biggest problems in the beta was literally shooting at friendlies because you can't tell the fucking difference. And with the audio issues and the absurdly fast time to kill, if you delay your fire, you're screwed. So, that's one of the two things. I really don't care about the lighting and contrast and crap because I don't think that makes nearly enough of as much of a difference as a visual icon or whatever that is. Audio, we've shortened the overall range of footsteps audio, which will allow enemy players to get closer to targets before they are able to detect footsteps. We've also continued to tweak teammate footstep audio, which will now be quieter following feedback. I kid you not, the first time I was introduced to that audio, in the beta, I was able to hear someone at least 20 meters away from me. I kid you not, I was just listening to them. And they were coming closer. The problem is that I didn't exactly know what direction they were even coming from. Like, it was that loud. So, in terms of them tweaking that, it was definite because otherwise you could just camp in a corner and you know where everyone was coming from a mile away from you. The in-world activation sound effect volume range for the Dead Silence Field upgrade has been drastically decreased. I don't know enough about that perk in this game in order to... Plus, I'm sick, so my mind is not connecting the dots right now to know what that really means. My brain's sort of comprehending just enough to read this. Third person, don't really give a shit. I'm never going to play it. Like, seriously, I don't. I think, honestly, that they only put third person in there just for the sake of... in the game, just for the sake of competition with other games. Weapons. We have continued to tweak weapons across the game following both feedback from beta players and game data. Players can expect more specifics on weapon tuning as we continue to support post-launch. So basically, they're working on it, is basically what that double sentence means. UI. We've been working hard on numerous updates for the UI to make accessing, customizing your loadout more seamless. We've made improvements to navigation of menus, and we'll continue to optimize UX. Okay, this is one of the biggest issues I had with the beta, and it's going to be a billion times worse with the full game, just because of how limited the beta was. Is the gunsmithing and the weaponry and everything, I kid you not, atrocious for someone with my brain, at least. I don't know if it was just me that was marginally confused by it or not, but I could barely navigate the fucker. Technically, I couldn't, because then I ended up making my fully automatic weapon a semi-auto and didn't know it, and I kept dying, and I'm like, is my controller broken? Because I don't believe that there was any description, so I changed it back. But I'm really hoping that they made it better, because it's going to drastically change my approach to leveling up weapons if it's just as complicated. Movement, slide, ledge hang, and dive have been further refined. We've also addressed some movement exploits following beta. I found this a bit interesting because I did do it a couple times on purpose, repeatedly in the beta, and It's weird to use because it's a different movement system. I On one hand, it's realistic, and on the other hand, it's like you're in a sandbox game. Literally. So I didn't really know how to react to it, but it would definitely take changes. So hopefully the movement things are going to be better. We have implemented some changes that aim to reduce lobby disbandment between matches, which was atrocious, by the way. We look forward to testing this at a large scale and getting feedback. I have to say matchmaking is probably one of the biggest things in there. I'd have to say out of this whole list that enemy visibility, audio, and UI and matchmaking are the worst. And UI would be the one to be eliminated from that list if I had to, for a top 3. Just because of how painful the others are to deal with and the amount of time consumption that it takes to deal with them. Because at least with UI issues you can still work around it, but you can't with the rest. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. Truly, I really am. We'll see.